deals with exactly the same thing, but for non-linear systems. Here I cannot give a recipe. I cannot say, like I did with linear functions, I cannot say this is one option, this is the second option, and this is the third. I cannot say any of that. These are the options that we had for linear systems. One solution, no solutions because they were parallel, and infinitely many solutions. Nope, here I cannot give a recipe. Anything can happen. So let's start. We are using the same methods of substitution and elimination. Everything the same. We do not cover 5.2 and 5.3 in this class. Okay. I would like to start with 33 on page 587. X squared plus 4y squared equals 20, and x plus 2y equals 6. Well, so let's analyze the system. This is linear, but this is not, because at least one of the equations is not linear. All this becomes non-linear system. So now the question is, how do I solve this? Can I use elimination? The answer is no. Why I can't use elimination is because these two variables are not the same. How can I eliminate variables that are not the same? Same thing here. Y squared and y are not the same. I can't eliminate either one. So my only option here is substitution. Not for this, because there is a 2 in there, but for this. So from here I'll say that, or I'll write that x equals negative 2y plus 6, and I will replace x in the first equation and square it by negative 2y plus 6. So then negative 2y plus 6, everything squared, plus 4y squared equals 20. And now I need to square this. I have no choice. So how many terms do we get when we square negative 2y plus 6? Please make me proud. This was the first thing we did. Thank you. Very good. The first term squared, 4y squared minus 2 times 2 is 4 times 6 is 24, and plus 6 squared plus 4y squared minus 20 equals 0. And I know what type of equation this is. So I have 4y squared with 4y squared, so it's quadratic, minus 24y, and then plus 16. I'm hoping to get rid of a lot. What should I divide both sides by to simplify the equation? You know me, I'm all about simplifying.
8.
8 indeed. So then we have y squared minus 3y plus 2, and this is even more human to factor. I'm hoping that I can factor it quickly. And how do we factor this? Into y minus 1 and y minus 2. So there are two options for y. But I have to find x. That's not enough. Not a problem. Here is x. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 6 is 4. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 plus 6 is 2. So it happens that this system has two solutions, 4, 1, 2, 2. Yes, we should go back and check. I'll let you do that. I'm not lazy. I just would like to finish chapter 5. You want me to check? I will check any of them or both. Just let me know. Okay, so moving on to other examples. This was a typical situation for substitution. let's look at on page 587. I'm looking at 25. You choose if you'd like, please. 587. X squared plus y squared equals 25, and x minus 8 squared plus y squared equals 41. Can I use substitution? Yes, I can. I can substitute for y if I want to, but it's easier if I use elimination. I cannot eliminate x squared. These are not the same, but I can definitely eliminate y squared. So I'm going to multiply the first equation by -1. When you use a substitution, please keep the equations together. Negative x squared minus y squared equals -25. I copy the second equation. And now I add. Careful how you add here, because you can't really. You just write x minus 8 squared and minus x squared. These two, according to plan, are going away. And 41 minus 25, I think, is 16. Now, this is quadratic. I have to expand, I have to subtract, I have to move 16 and set it equal to 0. Again, 3 terms. The first term squared, minus 2 times the first times the second, plus the second term squared, and minus x squared. This one. Ah, nice. So negative 16x equals, and then I moved everything because I thought it was going to be quadratic and I didn't pay attention. Sorry. So now I have to move these back. So 64 minus 16, I think, is 48. So plus 48 equals 0. And negative 16x equals negative 48. When I divide, I get x equals 3. This is good, but it's not good enough. I have to find y. And I'm going back to the simplest equation. This is y squared, x squared plus y squared equals 25. And I replace x by 3, and I square it, of course. 9 plus y squared equals 25, or y squared, when I subtract, is 16. Which method from our past experience that we applied and applied and applied many times is applicable here to solve and get y? And how many solutions we have to get? Yes, take the square root and get 2 solutions. Awesome. So then y equals plus or minus 4. So when x equals 3, y could be 4. Also when x equals 3, y could be negative 4. So the system, like the one from before, has 2 solutions, 3, 4, and 3, negative 4. Any questions? I'm getting a sip of water, sorry. Okay, any questions? And yes, we should go back. I'm not lazy. If you want me to go back and check, I will. Any preference? Would you like to choose, or I continue choosing another problem? Is that a yes or no?
I'm cool with you choosing.
Okay, so I'll choose, in that case, 38. I'm trying to choose different problems that are, because I post for you and for the other class, So I'm trying to choose problems that I have not done with them. 38 on page 588. So you have as many examples as needed. So x squared minus y squared minus 4x plus 6y minus 4 equals 0. And x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y plus 12 equals 0. And you could say this is a mess, and I would have to agree. But we'll get it solved in a minute. There is no discussion of substitution. Absolutely not. I cannot solve this for x. I cannot solve for y. I cannot solve for x. I cannot solve for y. So I'm hoping that I can, by adding these equations, something nice happens and all x goes away, or maybe all y goes away, something that I can, that helps me solve. And indeed, this is 2x squared, gone. Minus 8x, gone. And plus 8. So we got lucky. Now, of course, I will divide both sides by 2, and I get x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. And if we know our formulas, then we know exactly what this is and how many solutions will it have. So how do I handle this?
Factor it.
Yes, how? Remember, that's why yes, very good. That's the reason why I insisted on those formulas, because now we know that this is x minus 2 squared in a blink. So we got it x equals 2. Now, of course, I have to go back to any of the original equations. It doesn't matter which one. Replace x by 2 all the way, everywhere, and get y. So let's say we replace it in the second one. So this is 4. And then plus y squared, but then minus 8, and this was minus 6y, and plus 12 equals 0. So now this equation is an equation in y, and I can solve. So this is y squared and minus 6y. So this is negative 4, so that's plus 8. I hope that we can easily factor this so we get the solutions for y. Combined with x equals 2 that we already obtained. How do we factor this? Into y minus 2 and y minus 4, so then y is 2 and y is 4. Therefore, the system has two solutions, 2, 2 and 2, 4. Okay, so let's see how we apply what we just studied in a word problem. Let's start with 46 on 588. And then I would like to look at 57 on 588. The difference between the squares of two numbers is 5. The difference between the squares of two numbers is 5. So what should I write?
X squared minus y squared.
Sure. Thank you. Twice the square of the second number subtracted from 3 times the square of the first equals 19. Let's read and make sure we came up with the correct equations. The difference between the squares of two numbers is 5. Twice the square of the second number subtracted from 3 times the square of the first is 19. the typical situation for what we just looked at. Of course, I can substitute or eliminate, whatever. I prefer multiplying this by negative 1, by negative 2 to eliminate y. You can say, no, I want to eliminate x, then that's fine. We will multiply by negative 3. So it's up to you. Would you like to eliminate x or eliminate y?
Y.
Perfect. Thank you. So negative 2x squared plus 2y squared equals negative 10. Remember, we cannot pick and choose. We have to multiply everything by negative 2. And then keep them together. And then by plan, according to plan, the plan we made, y goes away. 3x squared minus 2x squared is x squared, and 19 minus 10 is 9. I like it because I take the square root and get x equals plus or minus 3. It's good, but it's not good enough because I have to go back, replace x squared by 9 anywhere here. So I have 9 minus y squared equals 5 from the first equation. So then negative y squared, when I move 9, I get negative 4. I multiply by negative 1, and I get y squared equals 4. And of course, I take the square root and get y equals plus or minus 2. Now we have to be very careful how we put the solution together. So when x is 3, I get 2 options for y. But so when I set x equal to negative 3, I get 2 options for y. So it happens that this system has 4 solutions. When x is 3, y could be 2. When x is 3, y could be negative 2. When x is negative 3, y could be 2. And when x is negative 3, y could be negative 2. So we hit also a situation in which we found 4 different solutions. Before we start a 5-5, I would like to look at 57. Any questions for me before we look at 57? On 588. Find the length and the width of a rectangle whose perimeter is 36 feet and whose area is 77 square feet. We have 2 variables. We have to write 2 equations and solve the system, and then check, of course. Can anyone give us any of the 2 equations we need?
X plus y equals 36.
But twice, right? Twice x plus twice,
X
yes.
squared.
Yes. No, twice. 2x plus 2y equals 36. Very good. And now I need one for this. How do we write the area of the rectangle?
Length times width.
Very good. That's it. There is no discussion about elimination here. It's not possible. I will definitely simplify by 2. So the first equation is x plus y equals 18. And the second one is xy equals 77. No elimination is possible. They're not the same variables. I cannot eliminate these 2, and I cannot eliminate these 2. So I recommend substitution. That's the only way. So x equals, I move y, negative y plus 18, and this will be replaced in here. Instead of x, I will put negative y plus 18. Why? Because they are the same. So now x becomes negative y plus 18. It will be multiplied by y. Subtract 77 because this is quadratic. Do your thing by distributing, etc., etc. Negative y squared plus 18y minus 77 equals 0. Of course, I will multiply both sides by negative 1. Y squared minus 18y plus 77 equals 0. If you don't want to spend the time to factor, that's fine. We have to review the quadratic formula for tests anyway. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c over 2 times a. I used to have a calculator. Where is it? I got it. Remember parentheses around the numerator. Clear. Left parenthesis 18 plus the square root. I put parentheses. These sophisticated calculators may not need it, but you know me, I'm not sophisticated. Minus 4 times 77, close the parenthesis, go outside, close the parenthesis, and divide by 2. And then I repeat, which is much easier than with the software on the computer. And I got 11 and 7. So y equals 11 and y equals 7. That's good, but that's not good enough. I have to go back and find x. So x was negative y plus 18. So here x equals negative 11 plus 18 is 7. And here negative 7 plus 18 is 11. So we have two options. 7, 11 or 11, 7.